Yes, yes, yes. It is the Castworthy podcast, and we are back. It's a two-man game today. Fast break. Myself and EJ, sophisticated savage, on the day of Sabbath, the first day of football. We've been waiting 7 months for this day. We've been without it since February. Seems like an eternity, and then the season will fly by us as usual. But we will enjoy day one as much as possible. So here we are. It is what's today's date? I don't even know. It's the 10th, September 10th. September 10th, Sunday. And we're here, man. What's good with you?
We coming. I told you. We coming. listen, baby. It's about the NFL, but it's about college too, baby. Listen. Okay. We said we gonna go into Colorado. We're gonna go up to the Mile High where the altitude is a little bit different. We're gonna take over the University of Colorado. I left the HBCU and it wasn't the best way. I didn't leave them exactly the way that I said I was going to, but I left them better than I had it. Some of y'all were mad at me, including that man EJ. Absolutely. But guess what, baby? We coming. Y'all said we wasn't gonna win, but one game we are 2-0. And we coming. Huh? Steve, we coming.
They did. They did say that. They did.
When
Uh,
when she rides on top of you real slow, we coming.
I don't know where this is going.
When she gives you guacamole and tells you don't go to the bathroom, we coming. Come on, baby. Prime time. Talk to me. We cannot talk about Sundays without talking about Saturdays. Now, listen. University of Colorado is 2-0. Deion Primetime Sanders has quieted the naysayers. He's shut up all the critics so far. The schedule is only going to get tougher from here, and college football is the parity is back. University of Texas went into Tuscaloosa, Alabama yesterday and beat Nick Saban's Alabama Crimson Tide. University of Texas, Longhorns. And they're joining the SEC the next year, which is insane.
Alabama look bad though. Their quarterback. They don't got no quarterback play. I don't know if you can win without a quarterback.
Alabama will get a quarterback. They ain't never had a good quarterback. They have never had a good college quarterback while in college. And I can run them down for you. Tua was bad in college. You had Greg McElroy. You've had Jalen Hurts. You've had what's the other guy? AJ McCarron. None of it. There has never been to this day.
AJ was pretty good though. I liked AJ in college.
What did AJ do after that? Nothing.
I mean, he wasn't
There
not
has
in the
never
league,
been.
but
There has never been
serviceable.
There's never been a quarterback to come out of University of Alabama that has graduated from the University of Alabama to be successful in the pros. The only two right now that are Alabama worthy is Tua, who the jury's still out on, and Jalen Hurts, who transferred to Oklahoma. There's not been a quarterback from Alabama within the last 10 years that has played, I'll even go 20 years, 40 years, that has won anything in the NFL. The only Alabama quarterback right now that I can think of that has won a championship in the NFL goes back to 1969, Joe Woolley Namath. Alabama don't have quarterbacks. They have defense and a run game. And yesterday, their defense looked abysmal. Nick Saban is going to literally cut his entire roster or fire his defensive coordinator. He's done. He's done.
I think he's gonna Tanya Harding Dion, man. Because now it's gonna get harder for these institutions because these kids is gonna want to go play for Deion Sanders. And the guys that are, I mean, look at the star-studded people that were there yesterday. You got Cameron that was there. You got Michael Irvin was there to watch the game. You got Shannon Sharp was there to watch the game. Like you had all these stars, all these studs out there, all these people that these kids look up to, they see on TV, they listen to on the radio, they see on YouTube, they see on the internet, they see on Instagram, all of them out there to support Colorado. So a lot of these kids are gonna start making their way out there, where Prime is at. And I mean, of course, the only thing that slows that down, I think, is if for some reason Prime makes his way to the pros, which I mean, it's inevitable if he keeps up like this. Like there's no way that you can be successful everywhere you go at every level of the game, whether you're a player and now a coach, and people don't start to look at you as a serious candidate for an NFL coaching job.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And these guys look at Dion. Dion he's basically taken the Florida State. You can't even say Florida State model, because when he was at Florida State never celebrated who he really could be. He's really taking what he saw from the Hurricanes of the 80s and he's brought it to Boulder. He's got these celebrities in town. Games are
Mhm.
sold out. It's bigger than the game of football. And the irony of what you just said, right? He just faced a coach in Matt Rule, who went from Baylor, did all these great things at Baylor, got an NFL coaching job with no NFL coaching experience that I know of, that I can recall before Eric B. Enemies and all of those other people, right? He goes to North Carolina, supposed to be this offensive wizard, does nothing with what they have there, goes to Nebraska, historic program, and he a brick. And if you listen to the commentary about it, oh, he's had so many freshmen. He's trying to build from the bottom up. Where Dion was criticized from his roster, he wants it now. And listen, this guy knows what he's doing. Let's just face the facts. He knows what he's doing, whether you like it or not. And he's got about what, 29 million to coach in Boulder? If the NFL gonna come knocking to that man one day, he might probably and likely be the richest coach of all time in the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah, it may be, and I think it'll be. I don't know that it's going to move as quickly as it did going from Jackson State to Colorado. He might be 2 3 years away because for a number of reasons, right?
Under
And part of
contract.
that, well, contract is one part, but then the other part is, these owners, right? We know how these owners are, right? We've heard them say you can't let the prisoners run, the prison. You can't, like they still have to keep the people that support them, their supporters, their fan base, and as much as people like to win, um I mean, look at Miami. Miami got rid of old boy because he wouldn't tank, you know
Mm-hmm.
black head coach.
Yep.
These owners, the teams that are going to need coaches or potentially be looking for coaches, they don't seem like the types that are going to be out there and they're going to want to support a guy that's saying stuff like, "Hey, we got black men doing what you don't want to see, and this is why y'all are mad." You know what I'm saying? Like we're in an age where Dion is using the platform that he has from college football as a voice, for people, for us. And in the NFL, people don't like that. Look at the Colin Kaepernick. Look at and you and I agree on that situation that it was blown out of proportion. But there is some validity to what people were saying when you talk about the underlying race piece to it. So
No
um,
question. No
but
question.
yeah, he will definitely be there. He's a highly revered individual. He's a Hall of Famer. And all he's doing is winning. You know.
This season right now, right? And I don't even think people are seeing it. It's shaping up for Colorado to really make a case to be at the big stage, because the trajectory they're on right now, the schedule only gets tougher. But if they win out and they win key games, you can't deny this team a shot. They're 22 as of yesterday. Who knows what they're going to be ranked come this week coming up? But Alabama losing to Texas is something no one saw coming. And while I want to give Texas all the praise in the world, I think it's because Alabama has lost coordinators and it's lost talent, and they'll try to rebound somehow. And I think Texas, as we know of Texas of recent, will find a way to lose a game they should not. So then the dominoes start to fall. When you start to look at the top 10, it's going to come about week 7, week 8, where you'll see Alabama has this loss, Texas has that loss, University of Colorado may have a loss, they may not. This team could wind up in the top 5, top 4 rankings by the end of the year. And what they going to say now? What they going to say after that? This is insane. And to just see what Dion has done in a short amount of time from a program that literally only won one game last year.
Hmm.
Oh, we coming. We coming, baby. We coming.
Yeah, he has that team playing at a very high level, and his son looks good. I'm trying to put my finger on it. Like, I'm not a college football person, man. I'm not a college football. You know that. I don't watch it. I don't watch it. I don't follow it. I don't give a shit about it. I'm a college basketball guy. I grew up in the Northeast. Um, but I might have to start. You know, I'm a Dion fan. Like, you know that. Like, Dion to me is the greatest athlete to ever live, in my personal opinion. Because he played both sides of the ball and was extremely successful and did so at the same time at times. So, um, you know, I don't know, man. I might have to get me some Colorado gear and
Go
make my
Buffs.
way out to Colorado. Go Buffs,
Go
you know,
Buffs.
go Buffs, and kind of roll with that. You know, the way people roll with LeBron. I might have to roll with Dion because them kids look good. And Shador looks. I don't. I hope I'm saying his name right, but I
Shador,
think
you're
it's
correct.
Shador.
Hmm.
Yeah. He looks good. I was watching the game. I watched. That's two consecutive games that I've watched now, and I know they're going to be on TV, so I may as well watch them.
They're gonna be on
Um,
Fox every week.
every
Every
damn week.
week.
And they got some big games coming up, right?
Yep.
USC, they got Oregon, Colorado State
We got
next
Colorado
week. But
State next week at home.
yeah,
Yep.
they got some big ones coming.
Yep.
Pause. And he looks good. I was trying to put my finger on who he looks like in the pocket. Like when he scrambles, he gets in trouble and he scrambles. He keeps his eyes downfield,
He
which is
looks
a
like Donovan
key.
McNabb.
Maybe it is McNabb.
It's
It
Donovan
might
McNabb.
be.
He is McNabb 2.0 for me.
He's super
He
poised,
stands in
man.
the pocket way too long, and then when he does scramble and he looks upfield, he looks like Donovan McNabb. He's
Yeah.
just a smaller and shiftier Donovan McNabb.
You know the thing about and watching him, and of course we can't just dicky. He misses the easy throws and he makes the tough throws. You know what I mean? And I think someone needs to sit him down and be like, "Yo, when you have the time, when you have time, take your time. You don't have to rush every throw
Yep.
because he missed a couple throws yesterday on third downs that should have been first downs and guys were, wide open. Yeah, there was one specifically I remember from the first quarter that he threw it way out of bounds and there wasn't a defender within fucking 5 yards. So had he just poised himself, maybe set his feet, made the throw, it would have worked out. But I mean, it didn't change anything, right? They still went out there, they won 36-14. I want to say they were blanking them all the way through the
Yeah,
first part of the second half. So
Nebraska scored that last touchdown in garbage time, literally within the minute of the game being over. But Shador's other problem is he really holds the ball way too long. But the other thing that we also have to think about is we don't really know how complete this offense is. They run the ball, they try to run the ball, and even yesterday it's a testament to just the coaching that goes on. They couldn't run the ball yesterday to start off with at all, right? So naturally, when you come out in the second half, they were getting points and they were getting in scoring position largely because of their defense. So they didn't really go back to the run. This team is going to have to try to establish the run, but at the same time, it's a very young, pieced together football team. This is not a team of people that have been playing with each other, pause, for years. They this is a team that was literally constructed overnight. They're
mm,
still trying to figure out their identity in certain ways. Defense is a lot easier than offense to play instinctively. So when these guys see ball, they kill ball. But it's different when you're trying to establish an offensive identity. And their first game, unfortunately, didn't do them any favors because they threw for like 600 yards, right? So now Shador has in his mind as a young quarterback, I've got to stand in the pocket, wait all day for my people to get ready for a big throw. To your point, I saw there were points where the running back was wide open. He didn't dump it down. And I think Prime and those guys are going to get in there. They're going to get in the lab and they're going to show them, son, check it down. Son, if you're going to use your legs, you should have used it here and you need to slide. He had a lot of open running lanes yesterday. And I mean, listen, it wasn't pretty, but they played one of the top tier programs in the nation historically and coached by a guy who just came from
Came
the
from the NFL.
NFL. Like,
That's right.
like
Well, Matt,
yo,
Matt Rule, he was Indy, right? Was it Indy?
no, Carolina.
Carolina. Well, they sucked. So he probably has better talent on
But
his team now than
yeah,
he
right.
had.
But
And
he
I'm
was
just being
supposed
facetious.
he was supposed to be the guru. He was supposed to be the
Mm.
wizard. He was the guy
Well,
that
so
turned
was what was the
Baylor
other
around.
fat dude that went to Philly? That had these dudes. I mean, he had them. You know, he had their stamina, but he wasn't a good coach.
And the Chuck, the guy from Notre Dame. Can't think of his goddamn name. He was Joe Montana's roommate.
No,
And
recently,
oh,
the fat dude
I don't know, because Doug Peterson,
before him, the one right before him. Damn,
I
yo.
don't remember.
Did he go? Did he come from Oregon? Was it Oregon he came from?
I don't remember.
Anyway, you know these guys they don't always pan out.
Yeah,
And so I don't know that Matt Rule was really a good coach anyway. They did gate him a little bit, and then he got another
they
job. And I
did.
mean, obviously, listen, when you hire for any role, especially when you're talking about someone that's going to lead people, coaching, whatever that is, you're going to look at somebody that has experience and going up to that NFL level and getting whatever experience he got there. Is going to win out a lot of college candidates, right? So I could see why Nebraska would have gone with him, even though he's not fully proven and he doesn't look like he's doing that great. But then again, we also don't know if he's not that great as a college coach or if Dion and Colorado are just that damn good. You know
Well,
what I
the
mean?
thing about Matt Rule again, he received high praise from taking Baylor to nothing because we got to remember after RG3, Baylor, even before RG3, Baylor was a program that was kind of like it was there and it's in Texas, but it ain't Texas. It ain't A&M. It ain't U of Texas. It's Baylor, right? And RG3, best offensive player in the country, he takes them to new heights. They see what they could do if they invest in it. Matt Rule goes back in there, restores the program, doesn't do anything championship wise. He wins bowl game, right? And then he's heralded as this guru. So the NFL comes knocking for nothing. So to your point, we really don't know what he's capable of, but he has one of the most historic programs that the nation has ever seen. And it's Nebraska. The same recruiting problems that other places that aren't as beautiful to look at. Nebraska is a place in middle America that has made it, attractive for the athletes, whether it's wrestling, track, whether it's football, basketball, maybe not. But Matt Rule has all of the tools that he needs to have to make this program successful. And guess what? He got his ass whooped yesterday by Deion Primetime Sanders. Shout out to Prime. We coming.
Yeah, man. I'm a buff. Pause. But it was Chip Kelly I was talking about.
That's what I was thinking of. I could not get
Yeah,
him out. But
who
he went
did
to
come
Notre
from?
Dame, didn't he? Or he
He was in
coached at Notre Dame at some
he was
point. Yeah, but
Oregon
he coached at
coach.
Notre Dame at one point too. Then he did.
I know he's
Another
at
guy,
UCLA right now, but
another guy with no playing experience, no,
yeah.
yeah, whatever.
But I mean, it just goes to show that you know, IQ is a big thing too, right? Because Dion has, has the IQ of both sides of the ball. And as a head coach, right, a lot of times we see these coaches that are D coordinators and their defense looks good. And we see these coaches that were O coordinators and their offense looks good, but their defense is questionable. When you have a guy who has the IQ of both sides of the ball, they can spend time with both teams, the defensive team and the offensive team. And they could see stuff and say, hey, look, you're missing this, you're missing that, right? And of course, you have those unicorns of guys that just have, that are just really good coaches, that played one side of the ball or didn't play at all. But when you have a guy that's, I mean, prime example, in Las Vegas, and we'll see this year how that looks, right? I mean, you know, they got all the offensive weapons that you need with the Raiders, and they have a guy who's been an offensive coordinator that worked with the greatest quarterback of all time, if that's what you believe. Um, and you know, in Josh McDaniels, and so we'll see if he can make that defense look good, right? Because that's going to be their, I think that's going to be their downfall. But Prime has both sides of the ball. He has his knowledge from both sides of the ball. He looks great. The team looks great. The defense looks resilient. He's got that kid. He got Hunter playing both sides of the ball. Like, what can you do? Now it's just a matter of, can these guys keep going up? And then also if they do take a L, right, how they bounce back from it. Because right now all they're seeing is win, 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 and you're gonna have these kids, they're gonna be, their ego is gonna be high, right? So they're gonna run into a team, yesterday when they started to get blitzed in the second quarter, they slowed down a little bit, and they started to have some three and outs. So when you get a team that's gonna blitz them and keep and be able to get there, like you said, is Shador going to hold the ball too long? Is he going to scramble? He's going to make the right decisions. And then even if he doesn't in one game, it's going to be the following game how they bounce back, and that's going to be what's key for this team.
So to your point, Dion's IQ is superb. Obviously, from knowing both sides of the ball. Another coach like that is Mike Tomlin, who played
Mhm.
football in college, has a defensive background, but was also a wide receivers coach for a long time. But it's not only just the IQ of the X's and O's in the game, it's the IQ of your personnel. It's the IQ of being able to have known what it's like to put pads on, how to motivate another man to get the maximum potential out of them. And that's the thing that's going unnoticed. And yesterday was a horrible game for them, but they showed resilience. They showed how quarter after quarter we can beat this team. We know we're better than this team, but things aren't clicking for us. But guess what? We're gonna grind it out. We got 3 here. We're gonna get 3 there. We're gonna play defense. We're gonna get some turnovers. Then we're gonna get some easy touchdowns. And then they put up 36 points. This is a team that again last year won 1 game and they only kept about 2 guys from that roster. This is a team that literally has no real continuity over a year. They've had spring ball and training camp. That's it. You're talking about program in TCU that damn near won the national championship. And they came out and blanketed these dudes. What's
Mhm.
going on in Boulder, man, whether they don't win a game or not going forward, which I mean, I think by all means they should win some more. I mean, give this dude and Dion said it yesterday. He said, wait till I get comfortable. Wait till I get to really know these guys. Wait till I really get to have a year. Wait till some of these boys that I have that are freshmen, wait till they sophomores, wait till they juniors. I mean, he hasn't had any time with this team. He's still really, if you think about it, he still really has no clue what a lot of these guys can do on this level of playing. A lot of these
Yeah.
cats are transfers that didn't play. They were waiting. Even the guys that he has from Jackson State, they played at Jackson State. We know that these conferences, the SWAC and the MEAC, have historically had individual talent because a lot of the league has been produced by those conferences, right? But he had no idea that they would line up against TCU, Nebraska, and show up and show out the way that they are. And he said,
Mhm.
wait till I get comfortable. Wait till I get comfortable. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing. It's the biggest story in sports, bar none.
It is, and if I'm Sean Payton, I'm thinking Sean Payton is over there slamming his fucking clipboard on the ground because he can't trump this. The only way you can trump this is, I mean, obviously, the Broncos have to win, right?
Have
And
to win
and
the
their
Super Bowl.
win, and their right, exactly, and their win is gonna be like, oh look, the Broncos won. You know what I mean? They're gonna get overshadowed by Colorado week after week, if they continue like this, and
And,
nonetheless,
and he's already made himself look like an asshole from his commentary against Nathaniel Hackett. He already went
oh
against
yeah,
coaching 101. You don't shit on the guy that was there
that was
before
there
you.
before you.
You don't do it. You just it's coaching 101. You don't do it. And not only that, let's not act like the Broncos
Oops.
that paid Russell Wilson so much money have all of this talent. They've been on a downswing since Peyton Manning left.
Yeah, I mean, and then they got to deal with injuries, right? So they got Jerry Judy who ended up hurt. They've got Javante Williams who's coming back off of injury. So the idea is, can Sean Payton has always been a quarterback guy. He's always been a tight end guy. Like, can he make Russell Wilson a better player? And we saw those comments that came out this week where allegedly he told him, stop kissing babies. You're not running for office. Get out there and play football. And some people don't like it. I actually like it. I like it. Russell Wilson is too nice of a guy. Like, listen, all right, we got it. You already became the black poster boy of the league, but you've been replaced now by Patrick Mahomes. So now you can go be a thug out there. Not a thug in per se exactly, not literal, but figuratively. Get out there and bust some ass. And if it means you got to get into it and talk some shit against, the guys that are coming and hitting you late and stuff like that, then do it. But you can't just be a pushover. And I feel like that was more of the message. It was just the wording that he chose that I think rubbed some people the wrong way.
I mean, well, you got to think about it again. Russell Wilson also went to Wisconsin. Wasn't highly touted. Third
Yeah,
round pick.
unexpected, super
Third
unexpected.
round pick that stole a job because he was hungry. Now he's $100 million+ man. He has a wife who he's reinvigorated and supported her career and her things that she's been doing, right? She's become the poster wife. He's become the poster husband that's taking care of the illegitimate rapper's son. He's got it all. Why would he want to go out there and be a dog right now? He's got it all. He's not hungry. He Russell Wilson has no idea and no remembrance of what it is to be hungry and not have won a goddamn thing right now. He's already got a ring. He's good.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. But I mean, you have to assume that guys like there's if he's a guy like some of the others that have that heart or that dog in him, that if anyone's gonna bring it out of him is gonna be Sean Payton. And we've seen Russ go out there. We've seen him be a leader in the past. I do think Denver has a better season this year.
Mm.
The Raiders are not really to worry about. Kansas City got off now to a slow start with that loss, and we don't know how long Kelsey's going to be out. And if Chris Jones said, I mean, he says he's willing to wait 8 weeks. So if Kansas City's going to play hardball, they don't have wide receivers. Kadarius Toney's dropping shit. Sky Moore looks the same as everyone thought last year, and everyone thought he was going to be better this year. So that division is really, what do the
Chargers.
Chargers look like today, and what does Denver look like today, and can Mahomes really will that team to something?
You're right. You're
And
absolutely right. But they also have to deal with the rest of the AFC. So while they'll be good in their division, how are they going to stack up against the AFC North that's going to have Cincinnati, Pittsburgh Steelers,
Pittsburgh, Baltimore,
Baltimore, and
shit,
a
even
Cleveland,
Cleveland, who people are
and a
sleeping on.
Cleveland with Massage Boy. Then you got AFC East that could have literally, we'll see tomorrow, 3 teams possibly to come out on that front. So I mean, while the AFC West, they'll be a team that obviously has a playoff spot, but they could mess around and be one of them 7 and 8 playoff teams that they just got a spot.
Yeah. No, they could sneak their way in, but from a standpoint of the season that Denver had last year, coming off of the success they've had since Peyton Manning went there, or the success they had when he went there, you know, a playoff spot is good for them, you know. But
Mhm.
again, they're going to be overshadowed by Colorado, and nobody thinks Denver's going to win the Super Bowl. Let me tell you that right now. Not when you think about it. No one thinks they're going to win the AFC. When you think about the teams that are there that you just spoke about, and we'll definitely get into a little bit more of that and transition into NFL. But before we do that, of course, you know, flowers again to Dion and you know, my Colorado Buffaloes.
Hey yo. Hey yo.
Because
Nasty work.
y'all better keep an eye on us, man. Keep an eye on us.
We coming. We
Um,
coming.
Thursday night's game opened up the NFL season. We saw the
Mhm.
Kansas City Chiefs play against the Detroit Lions.
Mhm.
Um, what turned out to be somewhat of a lower scoring affair than people expected. Some changes last minute. Well, not last minute, but you know, Travis Kelsey ends up getting hurt. And you know, as much as people felt like, and we saw, you know, from not last year but the year prior when they had Tyreek Hill, and then going into last year, I think people felt like, oh shit, they won a Super Bowl. You know, Patrick Mahomes don't need nobody. You know, and that's kind of the mentality I think Kansas City had, because they didn't go out and get DeAndre Hopkins, who was available. You know, there was other guys that were out there they could have gone and got. Well, even like a Juju Smith-Schuster, like he's not the greatest. I know he was there last year, but you could have held on to him. Like, you know, these are guys that, you know, when Kelsey goes down, you have a plan B. You know, they could have gotten, they could have went and got Odell. Like these are
They
just
could have kept McCole Hardman.
could have kept McCole Hardman, and they decided no, we're gonna roll with, you know, we traded for Kadarius Toney, which seemed like a good trade, and it did pan out for them last year. And really, we're going off of one game for him, but I think he can be better.
Mhm.
Sky Moore, who people thought were gonna make strides, but he's small. He's a small guy, and he just doesn't look good. He didn't look good at all. And they got running backs for days, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Isaiah
Pacheco.
Pacheco, and then McKinnon. Like they got all of that going on, but you know, at the end of the day, when you play against a team that's resilient like Detroit, that has a good defense, um, and you don't have the weapons around this one guy. Football is a team game, man, and people are gonna start to learn that shit watching Mahomes struggle, depending on how long Travis Kelsey's out.
Yeah, and to add on to that, to your point, I mean, I think you're spot on everything. We don't need anybody. We don't need you, Eric Bieniemy.
Oh, we forgot about that. Completely threw that out the
Mm.
window.
We don't need you, Eric Bieniemy. We're gonna bring this other guy in, who and I can't think of his name right now. Damn it,
He's your guy. He's your guy. The coach
my
that
guy.
was yeah, he was the head coach for the Jets that came from Miami. I can't remember his name.
I can't either. But
Your
they
coach. He came from
no, no,
Miami. He
no,
was
no,
looking
no,
around
no.
all crazy.
Not Gase.
Oh no,
You're
no, not
talking about
Gase.
Gase.
Not
No, no,
not
no,
Gase.
no.
Not Gase.
No, 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 no,
Why do
no.
I have him? But it's another guy that was a head coach.
I know you're
He
talking
was
about.
Chicago's head coach. He was
I want
Chicago's
to
head
say
coach.
it's Nagy.
That's exactly who it is. It's Matt Nagy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's Nagy, who we had questions about. Matt Nagy, who we had questions about in Chicago, right? So what they basically did was they basically doubled down to say, well, we don't care about Eric Bieniemy. He's not going to be the future of this franchise. Um, he has no place to grow here. We're going to bring in Matt Nagy, who we think can do the job serviceably, do what Andy wants, and be the face of this team. So now, when the questions were, is it Eric Bieniemy or is it Andy Reid? They said, you know what, we don't need this talent, we don't need these guys, we don't need this, we don't need that, and we don't need the coordinator. And say what you want, there have been guys that have come out to support Bieniemy to say he demands perfection. So when you saw drops and all of that yesterday, Thursday, that's something Bieniemy would not have stood for, and it would have been corrected, and it was not corrected. So the other thing, like I said about personnel, it's one thing to know X's and O's, but can you maximize one person's talent level? and their potential. Sky Moore is a talented receiver. Kadarius Toney at University of Florida was one of the best position guys in the nation. He's a head case, but he has
So is
talent.
Kyle Pitts.
He has talent. They got talent. But can you maximize that when they're in the field of play? And Matt Nagy, let's ask the Chicago Bears fan. Let's ask Al. Let's ask Mark how they really feel about that guy. This is the guy that Kansas City has now banked their future on with their $500 million man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested in continuing to watch. I mean, we're making a lot off of one game, but this was a team that was favorited going into that game, of course, and going into the season. They were poised and picked by a lot to repeat, at least getting to the Super Bowl, or close to it. And I still think there's it's a long season, right? They still got 16 more games to play, or 15 more games to play, 16 more weeks, but you know, or no, 16 more games to play. Yeah. But nonetheless, we'll see what they can do. But Detroit, right? A lot of people are drinking that Detroit Kool-Aid. There's a lot of Kool-Aid going around. There's the Jets Kool-Aid going out. There's the Detroit Kool-Aid that's going out. And I think the only question in the Detroit Kool-Aid is Jared Goff, right? And I think he looked pretty good Thursday night. He's a game manager. Nobody, thinks that he's Aaron Rodgers. Nobody thinks that he's Tom Brady. But I think they brought him in Detroit to manage the game. They've put a decent team around him, and once they get some of those guys that got suspended for gambling and shit, Jameson Williams finally gets back, if he gets back and doesn't turn into another Justin Blackman. And continue to pair them with Amon Ra, who's gone beast mode. Laporta looks good at the tight end spot. They brought in David Montgomery, who was in the same division, who looks pretty good. He always did with the Bears when you spelled him. So when he wasn't your bell cow, he looked good with the Bears. And so Detroit said, all right, let's go get this young kid. And we're going to get Montgomery in here. And we're not going to try and make him a bell cow, but we're going to use his skill set. And he did. He looked really good against Kansas City. Of course, no Chris Jones to stop that run. Nonetheless, I think Detroit looks poised to do things in that division. And I think people are, kind of have them as a favorite. How do you feel about that?
I mean, damn. I mean, you can't be more spot on. This is a rare moment from you, but
Bitch.
yeah. I mean, Detroit was a playoff team last year, right? They got bailed out of some games, i.e., when they played the Jets and CJ Mosley. Thanks, CJ. I hope you clean it up by tomorrow. Did some stupid shit. They have, you can argue they have the most proven quarterback in that division. They have the,
Yeah.
well, except for Kirk Cousins, who, sorry, Kirk. Kirk deserves way more praise, in my opinion, than he gets. Because
He does. But
he
Goff saw the
he
Super
does.
Bowl.
Yeah, but yeah. How about that? So Goff is what he is. He had some moments on Thursday where he looked like the same old guy. That defense is showing up. Hutchinson is there.
I like that
Even
kid.
the kid, the linebacker from Iowa.
Anzalone? Is that
No,
his name?
no,
Anzalone?
no, 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 no. I can't remember his name now. Damn it, damn you. The linebacker from Iowa, who I thought was a great pick for them, and their head coach. Their head coach is who he is. He's a big personality. We all thought he was a weirdo. Here's the thing, man. They got the Bears who are unproven, don't know what they want to do. You got the Jordan Love led Packers that they could wind up being really good. But the defense was shit last year. No one wants to talk about that. They haven't improved that.
Both of
Um,
the wide receivers are hurt.
yeah, that part too. And then you have, who am I missing? Chicago, Green Bay, Detroit, and Vikings.
Minnesota.
The only other team that could be a real threat to them is the Vikings. And I think people shit on the Vikings. and it's one of those weird situations where you have good receivers and they're phenomenal. They're all world, but nobody praises the quarterback. Like Justin Jefferson, number one wide receiver in the league, but who's throwing to him is Kirk Cousins. So I think Detroit moves into number two in that division, and I think they definitely can reach the playoffs again. I think they definitely can reach the playoffs again. But what we saw Thursday, we'll see. I mean, they went against one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and they got the job done. So
Mhm.
we'll see.
Yeah, they were not afraid. There was some questionable decisions there. Andy Reid going for it, third and
Fourth
20
and
or fourth and 25
fourth
from
and
like their
20, then fourth, and then they finally called a false start on the tackle who's been jumping
who've
off
been doing
sides
it all
all day.
game. Oh my god, bro! They finally call it, and then he still went for it. That with three timeouts. Like that was a I don't know about that. That was a questionable decision there.
When it
Huge,
became 4th and 25, I was even more questionable about that. I mean, 4th and 20, I saw it
right?
because I saw the
Because the play
play
before he was open. Like
exactly. And
the-
let's not forget, if Kadarius Tony catches the ball,
there's a few of those if Kadarius Toney caught the ball, but nonetheless, like I get you. You trust your quarterback, and we've seen some really great quarterbacks over the years. I think we've been privileged to grow into sports from kids to now, watching some of the best athletes, especially quarterback. And the Montanas, the Bradys, the Paytons, the Roethlisbergers, like you still don't see you don't see people that are just like, oh, 4th and 25, go for it. This ain't Madden. This ain't fucking Madden. You know what I'm saying? This is not Madden. You're playing against a pretty good team. Sure, I get it. It's week one. You're not making that decision in the playoffs. You're maybe not making that decision week 16, 17 when there's things on the line. Week one, you might make that decision, but it's a bad decision. It's a horrible decision, especially when you don't have Tyreek Hill who could blow the top off of the defense, especially when you don't have a CD Lamb. You don't have even a George Pickens out there, if you will. You know, so or Garrett Wilson. Like you got to have someone. Maybe if Kelsey's out there, I could
this
see
nigga.
them.
Oh,
Well, rookie of the year.
Garrett Wilson, one of
Yeah,
them guys now. He
he's
one
a
of them
rookie.
guys now.
He's a rookie of the year.
All right, respectfully,
Was he offensive rookie of the year last year
respectfully. He wouldn't
for
have
a
been a
reason?
Brees. He wouldn't have been if Brees Hall didn't tear ACL.
Yeah, maybe so. Nonetheless, they both on the same team, and I think Garrett Wilson. I said it last week. I think he takes a step forward this year with a better quarterback, a lot better quarterback. Um, but nonetheless,
Your lips to
maybe,
God's ears.
maybe if Kelsey's out there, right, I could see you making that decision. But Andy Reid, that was some fucking Joker shit. That was a horrible decision. That was some. It was that was just fucking stupid. So
I
they
saw
deserve to
I
lose
saw
game.
it at 4th and 20, right? But 5 yards makes a difference because I saw the timing aspect of it. The ideology was if
If
they
they get a
don't,
first down, you lose.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much. I
but
get it.
you basically tell your defense we don't trust you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
I'm fourth
Because
down
they
and
could they
20.
could have they could have booted that joint and pinned them, and then came
Then the
back
10-yard line.
with field to
Right,
play. And
right.
yeah, it's basically telling my defense without Chris Jones, here's some shit. And I never
Mhm.
thought that Chris Jones was that good, to be honest. To me, I don't think he's Quentin Williams. I don't see it, and I understand why they didn't want to pay him because to me, I don't see looking at this team last year. Obviously, we can see that he's a run stopper, but I didn't see him being a pass threat last year. And I don't know his numbers. I could be wrong because his numbers could tell the truth, but I just don't see him being that guy. Plus, you're already making, I think, 18 mil now as it is.
So
So,
that's a big thing for me. So I think Chris Jones is good. Do I think he should get Aaron Donald money? Probably not, especially when you know your team is in a cap situation. That's problematic. But he had 15 and a half sacks last year.
and he's also
Um,
29 years old.
he's an OG. But last year was probably his best year since 2018, where he had 15 sacks. Before that, before last year, he had
Nine.
nine, 7.5,
He's
9. Right.
only,
So, nonetheless, you
bruh.
know,
Okay, going back, let's be real. He had 15 and a half in 2018. Honestly, I'm looking at this dude's number and I'm questioning if he's used PEDs on and off. To be honest with you, I'm questioning if he used PEDs on and off because he didn't start out to be anything from 2016. He had one 15 and a half sack year in 2018. Then he goes to 9, 7.5, 9 again, and then 15 and a half last year. I mean, he's all
Well,
over the
it's
place.
the other thing people forget about when you look at just sack numbers is situational football. And when you have the Kansas City Chiefs who are constantly leading people and the quarterback drops back 45, 50 times, you know what I mean? And you end the year with 15, that really isn't as much as you think it is. It is a lot, don't get me wrong. But when people are under desperation most of the time because they're playing against the best offense in the league or one of, then you should get sacks. You know what I mean? So
I was
um
joking about the PED comment. Just joking,
but
people.
I do have a problem. I have a problem in general with these players. Um in general, not him, not anyone specific. You signed a contract. Now, some of these rookie guys like the Jonathan Taylor, I think that's a little bit of a different situation because they're on a deal that they don't have much, they had no control over. But when you sign a contract after that rookie deal, whatever that says, regardless of whether you get better or not, you already bet on yourself when you sign that deal. You need to finish that deal out. And I get it,
Mhm.
you want more money and stuff like that. And that's fine. It's okay to call for it. But to sit out and put your team at a detriment, especially when you got a guy like Patrick Mahomes who took less money, probably could have gotten more so you could play. You got guys that are doing this so that you could be on the team, and now you're not showing up. And I have a problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, for Chris Jones' sake, honestly, he's somebody right now that is just kicking himself because he didn't plan for the long game right, and his agent probably didn't do right. He signed a 4-year, $80 million contract with
It's a fair deal.
60 guaranteed. So I mean,
It's a fair
even
deal.
exactly, even when you match that up with what Quentin Williams just got, who I believe is a far better all-around interior guy who's much younger. Chris Jones, you're about to be 20. He's 29 now. You're about to be 30, bro. Like nobody wants to be the Albert Hainsworth Redskins, then Dominican Sue contracts. Defensive linemen aren't offensive linemen. You don't
Hmm.
get better with age. You don't.
Right.
And even those offensive linemen that get better with age, they're not getting paid like that.
Right.
So,
Zach
bruh,
Martin just barely got paid.
yeah. So, bruh, like, you're 29 years old. You had 60 guaranteed. Go out there and play, kid. Like, for real.
That's
Go
it.
out there and play. Just
That's
go
it.
out there
And
and
if
play.
if you worth it, then go show it.
Yeah. And not only that, no, you're not going to get more than, you're not going to get more than 60 guaranteed at 29.
Right. Right. Especially not from a team that has won 2 out of 3 Super Bowls, and you
And,
know what I
and don't
mean?
care about no defense.
Right. They don't care about defense, but they've won. So they don't I don't have to throw the money out there to win because we've won recently multiple times. Like there's gonna be another you. I'll find another you. You know what I mean? And I'll go get a younger kid at another position for the money that you're commanding at at wide receiver, at cornerback, skilled positions that people really, really care about that can make a major difference to the game. That's where I'll go spend this money.
You got
Maybe
six,
two guys.
you got 60 million guaranteed to be 29 at a defensive tackle position. Go out there, play your contract out. Okay. You want to leave, you're healthy. Go to a team that's rising, that can use you, that's looking for a mercenary, and they'll pay
That'll give
you
you 2 years. A
2 years,
2 year, yeah.
it's 10 million, whatever it is, and you'll
Mhm.
win. Like, just
Yep,
go play. You're not doing yourself any favors.
that's right.
Usually I'm with the players on this, but I didn't know he got 60 million guaranteed. What more do you want at 29 years old? What more do you want? They're not gonna give you no Quentin Williams type money. You're
Right.
not, you're young. You're not as young as him.
Or Aaron Donald. Like Aaron Donald is a force. Aaron Donald makes a fucking like I get it. Chris Jones makes a difference. Aaron Donald makes a difference. Like he commands a whole
But
defense.
even with Aaron Donald, LA had to give him that money. I don't think even I think as time progresses, I don't think any team is gonna just pay Aaron Donald again either.
Hmm.
Like
You're right.
the time is gonna catch up. What are we gonna give these guys 23-year-old contracts at 30?
Right. So that we can't pay nobody else. No, you're right.
Yeah, no. That's why LA's in the position they're in now. Let's be
Yep.
real.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. All right. So that was Thursday's game, and today, obviously, we got a bevy of games. Go ahead.
Even when you look at Aaron Donald's contract, 95 million guaranteed, which Jesus Christ. It was 3 years, 95 million. My man Jones got 480 and he got
Mhm.
60 guaranteed, right? Aaron Donald, come 2025, he's off the books.
Yeah.
So Chris Jones, what do you what do you want? It's par for the course at this point. I don't know.
Yeah. It's the cool thing to do, man. It's the cool thing. It's the LeBron thing. The players have the control over what they do, where they go. It's the holding outs. But people really clearly not paying attention to how Le'Veon Bell's career went. Because
Yeah,
you sit
yeah,
out a year and then you come back. I mean, we're going to see with Josh Jacobs today too, right? Josh Jacobs sat out almost all the training camp, and he's going to now show up. After getting that little bit of extra on top of his
contract.
tag. Instead of paying the tag, he went ahead and took the little extra money or whatever. We're going to see if he can come back and be a difference maker. And if he can't, then Jonathan Taylor's going to be in trouble, because if I'm Indy, I'm not paying you coming off of an injury, which Jacobs didn't, missing all of camp. Like I'm not going to do it. So these guys just, I don't know, man.
I'm
They're
gonna
not
say
paying
the
attention.
difference. I'm gonna say the difference is with Le'Veon Bell. I think again, and I've always said I watched him from Michigan State. His running style to me was never gonna age well in the league. He benefited from having a phenomenal offensive line, and his biggest asset was that he was like a receiver. And I think he was absolutely correct in wanting to be paid because that dude had more receptions than the average receiver in the league,
Mhm.
right? So I think Chris Jones, I mean, if anyone needs to get paid more, it's the running backs because some of these guys are putting up, and OJ Simpson said this recently. uh some of these guys are putting up more and better numbers than receivers are. So I think to the Le'Veon Bell effect, I think he had the right argument, he just wasn't the right guy. So we're gonna see with Josh Jacobs, as you said, Saquon Barkley, another one. Who else was it you said coming off injury?
Jonathan Taylor, but he hasn't.
Jonathan
He
Taylor.
hasn't.
Yeah,
He's not showing up yet. Still.
right, right,
So,
right. But I
but I mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
it's
think these
it.
guys have the right argument when it comes to running back. I do. I think they do.
They do, but if you sit out too long, like we've seen people train. We've seen people, even Zeke, right? We saw him train. He went out to Mexico, trained his ass off, came back, didn't look that great. But when you get that game speed, that 2-3 weeks of practice with the team, you know what the playbook looks like, you know the movement, you know what you got on your offensive line. It's a different story from just coming back and saying, "Hey, I got paid. Now I'm gonna go ahead and turn the light switch on." And it just doesn't work like that in a team sport. It might work like that when you're talking about baseball. It might with an Aaron Judge, because this guy's all he's got to do is come out here and hit home runs. It might work like that when you're talking about basketball, and that's even still a team sport. But you can control your shots. You can control going to the hole. You can control your assists, your defense, stuff like that. But as a running back or anyone else in football, you got to depend on those guys around you. I mean, you could be one of the best. If you're not at quarterback, you still have to depend on those other guys to make shit happen for you to be able to show your talent.
No, you're right, and it doesn't do you any favors when it happens and you don't look your best. So
Right.
it,
Right.
it could be a number of things. It just doesn't also help. That you had the spotlight on you, and now you failed. And the other thing is, running backs are a dime a dozen. We got a fourth string guy right now, Izzy Abinaconda, that I think is better than Michael Carter. But Michael Carter was a second round guy who looked great his rookie season and then looked terrible the sophomore season. So running back is such a just up and down position. I
Mhm.
still think those guys should get paid, but yeah, you're
They
spot
should.
on. You're spot on. These three guys, Josh Jacobs, Saquon, and Jonathan Taylor, the spotlight is really on you. And even when we saw Todd Gurley got
Right.
paid, got hurt.
Came back, looked like shit, got hurt. So if I'm a team, why am I gonna take that risk? Like when you said, There's guys out there. Look at, I mean, Chicago just showed it, right? And we're gonna see what that looks like. They were like, we're not betting on Montgomery. We're gonna go with Khalil Herbert. That's nobody's bell cow. But guess what? Can he be serviceable? Can he get the job done? And we got a quarterback that can run now too. Maybe we're not gonna spend that money on Montgomery.
Shit, if
So
you give me the right offensive line, I'll get you 5 right now. I get
right,
I get you
exactly.
5 right now.
For a
I'm
hundred
telling
thousand.
you. I give you 5 right now. I give you 5 a game right now, baby. That's the mentality. And
Yeah.
it's criminal, I think, for the backs, especially. But damn it, man. I mean, this where we at. And I
Yeah.
and I even think, even to some degree, with the Saquons, with the Josh Jacobs, and with Jonathan Taylor, I think even in those situations, the teams were a little bit more generous than anybody thought they were going to be.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
shit. But
Um.
you were on the bevy of games. I cut you off.
Yeah. Yeah. We got a shitload of games that are playing today. There's only one Monday night game. In past years, we've seen where they've done two, but this year we only have the one. So that means Sunday is going to be super full. And we got a
Pause.
bunch of those. Yeah, pause. Um, there's some junky ones we'll go through and kind of sort through these and see kind of where your mind is, and also where my mind is, and then also where Vegas mind is. So first one we'll start with really quick is Houston and Baltimore. I know that's where you sit today. I guess we're gonna get a Lamar Jackson who is recontracted, but no Mark Andrews. Up against a team that's expected to be shit, but they got some young talent, and I know CJ Stroud it's a first year, so it's going to take a few games for him to get probably going. But they did some good things in this year's draft, and we'll see. Damian Pierce is still over there. What do you think on that? I mean, Vegas has Baltimore as a 9.5 point favorite.
I don't give them 9. I don't give them 9. I think they're gonna win because they got the home crowd. It's nasty looking weather here.
Mm.
But it's up in the air. To your point, CJ Stroud is the quarterback, but they got a run game. And Baltimore's defense ain't what it used to be, in my opinion. Um, I mean, shout out to Harbaugh, though. I just think he coaches those guys way better than they really are. And they got the home advantage. I don't think they got 9.5 or 9 points.
Hey yo,
Um, oh Jesus. Pause. I don't think they got the point spread, but I think they win that game for sure. And a nasty one. I say like a 17-12.
yeah, I definitely have Baltimore going out and winning that one. To me, it's a minus 480 money line. I wouldn't take any bet on Baltimore today, because that 9.5 is risky to get the minus 110, and I'm not willing to go minus 480 on a parlay for that. That means I got to spend 100 to make $480. I'm not doing that. But I got Baltimore winning that outright. Washington plays Arizona in Washington. Again, you talked about the weather there.
Mm-hmm.
They got Washington as a 7 point favorite. It's Arizona that has nobody. I don't even know who's starting quarterback for them. So
Yo, it's nasty. I don't know. Again, I don't know that they get the point spread, but I think they get the W for sure. And another nasty game. The weather is nasty out here. It looks just real fall and nasty right now. It looks
mm,
like one of those fall rainy days. It's just gray.
I love
Um,
those.
yeah, I love them too. I love them too. It's just not as cold. But yeah, I don't see Arizona winning. I think this winter and this fall in the Northeast, for the record, is going to be brutal. But yeah, I see Washington. I see Chase Young. If he's suiting up, I see him having a
He
field day
better
out
suit
there.
up. Man,
Yeah,
they missed a whole year. He better suit the fuck up.
and this is a day for him to have a career day with a quarterback.
That nobody knows, right? That Washington defense is going to eat today. I do have them covering the 7. I would probably bet on that. The Arizona is absolute trash. I think they might score 10 points tops, maybe. That's if James Conner can break one, and I think it's more like 6. I think that game runs out at like 24-6. Sam Howell's not a great quarterback, but he's going to be serviceable against a shitty ass team. And I think they're definitely going to get that done. Um, Divisional game. Cincinnati is going into Cleveland. We're gonna have a Joe Burrow who just came off of a huge contract signing, richest man in the league right now. Reset the market, and he's really coming off of an injury that people said he might miss 1 or 2 weeks, but he's still gonna suit up today. And they're gonna go into a Cleveland team that nobody's paying attention to because there's been so much noise in that division. When you got Baltimore making noise with their young team and getting their quarterback paid. You got, Pittsburgh people are got their eyes on, and of course, Joey B in Cincinnati. So they just forgot about the massage man and his crew. And I think Cleveland is not somebody to brush off. What do you think? They got it's a 1 point favorite for Cincy, so it's really close, almost
It's a pick 'em damn near.
yeah, pretty much pick them.
I think Cincinnati's gonna have their hands full. Pause. I think they're gonna have a tough time out there because this Cleveland team has had chemistry. They've had time to retool. They've been working at it. Joe Burrow has been out, and I mean he got paid. Yeah, sure, but I mean, who are y'all really? Y'all haven't really won shit.
Can they stop Nick Chubb?
I
If
don't
they
think
can't
so.
stop Nick Chubb, then I think Cincinnati loses this game.
I agree, and not only can they stop Nick Chubb, they got other pieces. Amari Cooper is still a top
Mhm.
10 receiver. You got Elijah Moore, who's
Elijah Moore, sleeper. That's my
pissed off.
DFS sleeper.
He's pissed off from leaving New York, having a bad situation, and he can do a lot. He's a really talented wide receiver. And you got Njoku.
Nuduku. And then, and of course, and and then of course there's Deshaun, right? So like if Deshaun can, Deshaun never,
This nigga he went Wakanda forever, yeah.
Deshaun Watson never really got back to the Deshaun Watson that we knew last year. But
Hmm.
he's got a year game speed. He's got a full camp this year. He's got a lot of talent around him. I got Cleveland in this game.
I'm with you. I'm agreeing
I
on that one.
I got Cleveland, and I would probably bet on it. And you can get them on the money line at plus 100. So that's not a horrible bet. And these are Caesar's spreads right now, by the way, for anybody listening.
Mm.
Next up, same division, Pittsburgh home against 49ers. The Niners have a 2 point favorite here. George Kittle, they say, is gonna suit up, but he's been banged up. Pause. Um, Brock Super Bowls. Brock Purdy is starting, of course, at quarterback. They got rid of Trey Lance, so their backup is uh your guy. Well,
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold, not your guy, but you get what I
Ghost
mean.
Man. Ghostbuster.
Or I associate him with the Jets. Um,
Ghostbuster. Ghostbuster.
yeah, Ghostbuster. You got San Fran going into Pittsburgh, a hostile Pittsburgh, and beating them by
Not with TJ Watt on the other side. Not with Minka Fitzpatrick on the other side. Not with my man Sleepy Eye Mike Tomlin on the other side. I got my boy Pickett and them boys doing this game.
Najee Harris, George
Pickens.
Pickens, Deontay Johnson. I think he gets in the end zone today. He didn't score a touchdown at all last season in 17 games. Man is gonna get in the end zone today. He's gonna get it. And to your point, Minka's gonna be a huge difference maker when you got Brock Purdy out there. TJ Watt's gonna be a huge difference. I know we got Bosa, who got paid, racist Bosa. But and he's gonna probably rush Pickett a little bit, but I got the Steelers stealing this game, man. At home, they're a 2 point favorite. You could also get them at plus 110. I'm
I
taking the
need
pick.
you. I
I'm
need
taking
you to
Pittsburgh.
write these joints down because I'm about to put. I'm about to put a bet in because you're inspiring me here.
It's gonna be it's yeah, it's gonna be tough, but hmm, I'm a mark them on the phone as we go through. Carolina goes into this divisional. Two teams that I mean, I guess it's a good start for that division. Carolina versus Atlanta.
Mm,
Um,
I don't know what the hell's going on there.
they're going into Atlanta, and Atlanta's a 3.5 favorite, which is the norm. Usually, you get that home favorite anyway. Minus 190, plus 158 for Carolina.
I'm going with Carolina. And here's why. I was able to see what they have in camp when they were battling the Jets. I think that rookie is real. They've got some pieces down there that nobody's really talking about.
Mhm.
And I don't trust Desmond Ritter.
Right. Desmond Ritter's gonna be they're gonna go as he sees fit. I think he's worse than Mariota was last year. But yeah, Bryce Young, um, I think he could do it. I'm with you. I got Carolina. I definitely have them covering 3.5. I feel like if the Falcons sneak out of there, it's by a field goal.
I'm caught up. I'm on the betting track. I'm caught up. I'm on Caesars. We're caught up. Let's go. Let's go.
All right.
I'm caught up.
Another one that's going to be an interesting game. Tennessee going into New Orleans. We get to see Derek Carr with his new shiny, well, not new, his new team with some new toys, and Olave, Michael Thomas, but no Kamara. But they still have Jamal Williams that's going to be playing for them.
Hmm.
Tennessee is going to be our boy who we haven't seen in a minute, Tannehill. Is he the old Tannehill? And if so, can he make DeAndre Hopkins look good? And they still got,
Derrick
Derrick
Henry.
Henry, who for some reason people sleep on year after year.
Yeah. Traylon Burks
Um,
has another year under his belt. This is
Traylon
really
Burks.
a toss up here. I don't know. I don't know how good the Saints defense is. I don't know what to expect here.
This is a tough game to pick. This is a huge. This is definitely a tough game. They got Tennessee getting 3. New Orleans basically getting the home cooking there. Man, I wouldn't bet on this game, but
Me
if I
neither.
had, but since I have to choose a winner, I'm gonna go with the Saints, man, because I still think Derek Carr is a serviceable quarterback, and I think he's gonna make Michael Thomas look better now that Michael Thomas is not gonna be doubled all the time. I think Olave gets doubled and Thomas gets the underwork.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, if we had to just pick it, if we had to just pick it, um, I'm gonna go with Tennessee. But
Yeah,
I'm not betting on that. I'm with you. I'm moving past
and
that.
and we could see it. I could see Tennessee. I don't know who wins that game, so but I think it
Mm,
could, and I also think it could be a high scoring game too.
absolutely.
So
I'm looking at the over. The
41
over
and a
is looking,
half.
yeah, that's what, 20 a team,
Yeah,
basically, 19 a
2022.
team.
Yeah. Yeah, if they go 2022, 23, 20, 23, 21, 24, 21 type of score, yeah, it could happen. 17, 24, 17.
That's nasty.
Um,
Yep. Stay away from that game.
yeah, be careful. Um, Tampa Bay, Minnesota. Minnesota should steal this easily. They're at home, but they're only getting 4, which is crazy. Or they're only giving 4 rather.
Which is
Um,
crazy because Baker Mayfield is a quarterback in Tampa.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Vegas,
mean,
Vegas must know
Baker,
something we don't know.
right. Baker can show you some things, but Minnesota, I mean, this is
Minnesota.
Minnesota. I think they should win that.
Yeah.
Should I put that on the tab? I don't know. I put it on the tab. We're at 6 legs right now.
If I take Minnesota, I'm taking them on the money line. I don't know if I'm taking them for the 4
I hit
because
the money line, my friend.
yeah,
I'm
yep,
with you. I'm with you.
bet. Um,
This is
all right,
even
then we
nastier here.
Jacksonville,
I think it's nasty just because of these two teams.
Indy. I
You
think
want
that's
to
an
go.
easy one.
You want to go with
That's
Jacksonville. I just don't trust any of these guys.
I know Trevor Lawrence, man, but I think this is his year. That's why I drafted him in fantasy in a few spots. Um, Calvin Ridley is going to be a difference maker there. ETN, I'm not truly sold on him, but I think they'll figure it out. And Indy, but then Richardson is a sleeper too. That guy's an athlete.
Exactly. Exactly.
Kid is an athlete. Um, it's a divisional game. It's in Indy.
And the
And
Indy still has a good. Does Indy still have a good defense?
they do.
Mm,
Indy does still have a good defense.
mm.
But I did, but I'm not. I don't know, man.
Would
Without a
under
quarterback and no Jonathan Taylor,
would under 45 and a half be a smarter pick?
I think they do stay under 45 and a half. No question. I think they stay under 45 and a half.
So
But I also would take Jacksonville at
money
minus
line.
3. I would take them at minus 3.5 for the minus 110.
Why
I
not
think
just take the money line?
money line's minus 195.
Mm,
So money
yeah,
line I think that's almost a guarantee with
right.
Jacksonville.
Exactly. Right.
And that's not horrible because we got some positive money lines elsewhere, like with the Steelers and Cleveland and stuff. So if there's a doubt there, I would take that on the money line at minus
So
one.
I can do both right now. I could do I so you're saying do the 3.5 spread,
Hmm.
right? And then I could also do under 45 and a half.
I think the 3.5 is probably more of a definite
Got it.
under 45 only because we just don't know what them defenses are going to do. But I think Jacksonville or even the money line, right? I think Jacksonville, we almost know they're going to win.
Yeah,
Unless something
I mean,
freakish happens.
I'll do 3.5 with a money line. It's on you.
Let's take the money line. We'll see what that puts us at. Let's see.
Hey, I like it. I like it.
Um, Green Bay and Chicago. So that rounds off the 1 o'clock games. I think maybe we should probably. That's probably what 7 legs right now.
Yeah.
That's probably got us at like plus
Uh,
34, maybe plus 4 something, right?
um, mm, and I never can tell with this damn app. Minus 195. And that shit is going down to Pittsburgh is going down plus 105. It says plus our 7 leg is plus 53.49.
Oof, it's
And
even
it
money.
and it's going up. It's trending up. And
I got five.
$5 right now will get us 279.
I'll do $5 on that one.
$5 gets us 279. $10 gets us 558. I'll do 5. We'll do 5. We'll do 5 together.
Yeah, I'm with that.
I know this. I'm gonna just deposit some money here. 40 for you and 40 for me. How about that? I'm gonna regret this tomorrow, but it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I got so much DFS money out there right now. I think on FanDuel, well, I won't say it on the air, but I do have. I got too much going on FanDuel. I got a lot going on DK.
I need
And
to look
then
at underdog because I got money there, but that shit was so difficult to me.
and I got underdog. Yeah, I got underdog money out there too. I got to actually make some picks there as well.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Um, all right, 4 o'clock games. First one, Green Bay and Chicago. This is in Chicago. Chicago's only getting or giving 1.5. Green Bay's getting 1.5. Money line is plus 100 for Green Bay, minus 120 for Chicago. This is a tough game to pick, man. Over under 41.
No question. It's a tough game for sure. So we're just gonna go with the second half games. All right, let me go back. Chicago, you said under 41. All right, I'm with you on that. Makes sense. Makes
Yeah,
perfect sense.
I'll take under 41 on that one. I don't know who wins that game still. I'm
I'm leaning Chicago, no Christian Watson.
Oh, that's right. Or Romeo Dobbs. Yeah, I'm with you. I got Chicago on that one too. But I think under
Mm,
41 is a safe bet.
smart play. Yeah.
Like a safe bet. All right. Philly and the Patriots. And I think this is a trap game for Philly.
Yes. Yes.
I think
Very
this
much
is
so.
a super trap game. They
Bill Belichick defense, Jalen Hurts.
in New
Moment is very
England.
big. Moment is very big. And I don't like
Mhm.
Jalen Hurts in the big moment plays.
So New England is getting 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
Money line for Philly is minus 190. Money line for the Patriots is plus 158.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't
Spread
think they
44 and a
win.
half.
Yeah, I don't know that they win that game. I'm willing to take the 3.5 for the Patriots because I feel like Philly sneaks out of there. If
Three
they
and a
do
half
win it,
though is you're basically saying they got a last minute field goal and they either winning by 1 or 3 points, which is still nasty to me. I'd rather
yeah,
go under 44 and a half.
what if Philly? Yeah, I don't know what that Patriots defense looks like.
Right.
Um, 44 and a half is what, a 25, 21, 24 type of game. 21-23 game.
This is a nasty one.
It's in New England. I'll roll with you. I'll take that. I'll go under 44 and a half on that.
All right. All right. Here we go. Vegas and Denver.
Vegas, Denver. This
Nasty.
is yeah, this one's interesting. It's in Denver. We just talked so much about Colorado being on one. Um, Garoppolo, I don't know that I trust him and coming off a defense or coming off an injury.
This
Ugh.
is nasty. This is
They
nasty.
got they got Denver giving 3. So the Raiders are getting 3. Denver's minus 170 on the money line. I don't even feel good about that over under 43. I don't even know that I'm not betting on this game. But I would say if I'm picking this game because I
I'm going
have to,
Vegas. I would go with Vegas.
I'll go Vegas. I'll go
I hate
Vegas on
Denver
the
right
money
now
line.
because of Sean Payton, so I'm just gonna go with Vegas. But
No
I'm
Jerry,
not betting
no
on it.
Jerry Judy makes me really think about the Raiders, but I wouldn't put a bet in. But I'm gonna go Raiders with you.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think we should bet on that one.
Miami Chargers. This is another one. It's in LA. Miami's getting 3, which is interesting. That intrigues me a little bit. Over under 50 and a half. Miami's plus 135 on the money line. Chargers are minus 160.
I'd rather
It's
over.
it's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
I think
That's
over 50 and a half.
that's that half, yo. Fucking Vegas.
Yeah.
They know
You
something we
talking
don't.
about 28-21 and they don't cover. So
Right.
um yeah, I'm scared of that over. Who do you think wins that game though?
I have no clue. I
Yeah,
literally have no clue.
it's a
I have
tough
no
one,
clue. I
man.
mean, I want to shit on Miami, but I don't know.
Yeah, you got 2 young quarterbacks in that one. Um,
I'm not a Herbert fan, so I mean, last year they beat Miami, but I mean, yeah, I don't think they had Tua. I don't know.
I wish Miami had what's his face playing Jalen Ramsey. That would make it a little bit easier of a decision to make. That Chargers defense looks really good. They look
Mm,
good. Um, mm,
yeah,
this is tough, yo. I'm a I'm gonna go Miami, man. I would go Miami. If I'm betting
and
it, I
then
would
and
bet my
and then we're gonna be cursing out Vari that his fucking team didn't do what
yeah.
they're supposed to do.
You're right.
You think under 50 and a half with the
I
two
could go with that.
defenses
I could go with that. The under might be easier than betting
than
the one of
anything
them.
else? Yeah, yeah, anything else? Yeah, I'm with you on my. I'm with the Chargers winning. I'm gonna go under 50 and a half.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah,
And then we got the Rams and Seahawks. Seahawks are going to win this game. There's no question there. I don't
money
want the
line.
money line because it's so high. It's minus 225. Seahawks, I think they can cover the 5. I think
Got it.
that's I think that's easy. Only because no Cooper Cup. Ugh, that Rams defense, the secondary got broken up a little bit, a lot of bit. Like,
If
we
McVay
just
wins this,
oh,
he's
that
that
changes
dude.
some
He's
conversations.
that
Yeah.
dude. He's that dude because they don't
Yeah.
have shit out there.
Yeah. So what's that give us? A 3 leg right now on the
Yep,
second half?
four leg. We got Seattle winning 5 spread,
Yep.
under 50 and a half for Chargers Dolphins.
Miami. Okay.
New England under 44 and a half,
Yep.
and Chicago under 41.
Chicago under 41.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
Chicago. Yep, Chicago under 41. We got Dallas and the Giants.
And then we got Dallas, and I say let's do the afternoon. And then let's put Dallas and the Dallas game and the Buffalo game on another parlay.
All right. So we got the 4 leg, and that's at plus 1228 right now.
Mm,
$5 gets us
$60.
about 66. About $66.
I got 5 on it.
60 for 66. All right.
Yeah, I got 5 on it.
All right. Why not?
Yeah.
I'm a
Only because
mirror.
I think we're still kind of shooting from the hip a little bit here.
I'm a mirror the same thing and do the same thing.
I like both of these games, the Sunday night game and the Monday night game. I love both of these games. I think the NFL did a great job with these two games, and they did a great job with the Thursday night game, setting people up for primetime TV. But we get Dallas and the Giants tonight, where Dallas is giving 3 on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Over under is 45. Money line is minus 170 plus 143, depending on who you roll with. And Dak Prescott has just never lost to the Giants. He's 10-0 against the Giants. Um,
So what you saying?
oh, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. I'm all for it. I think the
Money
Cowboys.
line Cowboys.
I'm
Or the
I got the
spread.
I got the spread. I think the 3
Ooh, yeah, I mean
minus
that's
one.
basically a fucking game.
It's a field. It's a little bit over a field goal. It just means they
Niggas
got to
better
win by more
play.
than a field goal.
Niggas better play.
Yeah, yeah. It's a healthy team. It's week 1. Man, but these games always tend to be
Yeah.
close.
And it's in New York.
And it's in New York.
Mm.
Money line's gonna hurt because it's gonna be minus 170.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna hurt a little bit. What about that? Over under is 45.
I'd say it goes. Oh, I think either way, 45 is what? What are we looking at? What type of game we looking at?
That's like a 24-21 doesn't cover.
Right.
24-21 is the line,
Right.
basically, is what they
Right.
have it at.
Right.
Which makes sense, right? They could go in 21-21 and then a game-winning drive for Dak, and then they're all over ESPN tomorrow. Like that's the storyline that Vegas thinks is gonna happen.
And
And then
is
it
that
doesn't
still
cover.
right? I was gonna say, and is that still a 3-point swing?
No, it doesn't cover. Oh, that's still 3. So it doesn't cover the money. It doesn't cover the spread or the
Or the money line,
or the
or the
over under
over, right? Right.
if it
Or the
happens
over,
like that.
right? Right.
So I mean the minus 170. So they're basically Vegas is saying it's going to be a 24-21 game, and the
The
Cowboys are going to
the
win.
under 45, the under 45 is minus 110.
Yeah, yeah,
The and both them defenses.
yeah. You know what, man? My heart is picking with the Cowboys, but my betting mind tells me to take the Giants with 3.
Wow,
Um,
cover the
or the
spread.
Giant, yeah, to cover the spread, and the Cowboys winning on some bullshit. 2 points, but they win by 2, and it just throws all of Vegas off. I
Right.
can see that happening.
Okay.
And it's plus 100. So you get the Giants at plus 100 covering the 3. And I really do think that if Tony Pollard's not healthy, that it's a tough go at it, because I don't know that we could run at that defense.
Okay. I'm with you. Under the 3 points.
I'll take the 3 for the Giants on that one, but I still think the Cowboys win the game.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, go with your head and your heart. I'm with that.
And
Yeah.
Buffalo Jets actually kind of says that the Buffalo Jets numbers say what I just said with what happened with the Cowboys
Same
and
thing.
Giants.
Literally
They're
same
saying
thing.
2.5, right?
Literally same thing. The only
Two
thing
and a
difference
half,
is
45 and a
the
half.
only thing that over and under is just a half point more. It's
Mm-hmm.
literally same game. Literally.
That's a tough game, man.
I'm gonna go with the under of 45.5.
Under 45 and a half?
Mm-hmm. Only because we beat these guys last year and it was like 20 to 20 something. I mean, both those defenses, I don't see either offense getting out and doing anything special.
Let me think this through. They said Dalvin Cook is projected to start.
Oh, he's playing
Um,
for sure. He's starting.
yeah,
For sure.
he's
Him
expect.
and Brees Hall are playing.
They're both playing. They got Dalvin Cook starting. I think Aaron Rodgers. I think he's gonna go out there with a chip on his shoulder. He's gonna
I don't
try
know
and
if
put up
Mekhi
30
Becton is
points.
playing though. They were talking about that kid had an illness or something. But I think they were just managing his minutes. That's all I think they're doing, to be honest.
45 and a half. That's 24-21.
No. So okay. Non-football update. Concerning non-football update for Mekhi Becton. This is heavy though. I can't.
Is he?
Yeah. I don't know.
Doesn't say. Doesn't say he's out or not.
No. Fuck this fucking guy, yo.
I'm taking the Jets on the money line.
Yeah.
Jets money line is plus 122 to win that game outright in New York. That's Aaron Rodgers has to. He has to. He has to. And he's going to
Bet
do
it.
everything he can to. And I think that plus 122 there, plus the plus 100 on the Giants, that puts that at a pretty decent two-team parlay, probably at like 4+4 something, right?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me see. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the injury report. Nigga, I'm getting mad. Like I'm getting mad just looking at shit. You know what I mean? Okay, so Mekhi Becton limited practice on Thursday, didn't practice on Friday, full participant on Saturday. Fucking guy, yo. All right, you said location error. This shit acting up now. You said money line with the Jets.
I got the Jets on the money line. That's the Jets winning outright.
Fine, whatever. Fine, I know. Fine, whatever. Fine, fine, fine. Now let's talk about my location. Let's see if it gets me back in here. Jets money line. Okay, 2-leg parlay. We're plus 344 right now.
So
And they can't verify my location. So let's try to figure that out. Retry.
plus 344. I think we should throw something else in there.
So I put 80 in for us. We spent 20 together. We're at 60. So if we did
I'm
30
super
apiece,
questionable.
it's still
I'm,
only $133.
yeah, no, I'm not about that life. Let's put it. I say we put another game on there. Let's put a. Let's throw the. This is gonna be the questionable parlay. Fuck it.
Yeah. I'm with it. Yeah, I love it. The
Which was the
games we
one that
didn't
we?
bet on.
Yeah, what was the one we didn't bet?
Uh,
We was it the Saints and Tennessee we didn't bet?
yeah, I think so. Hold on, I can tell you now. Let me look at the bet slip.
Yeah, I
We
don't have
don't
that marked on my phone.
we don't have we
Oh,
don't
Raiders and Broncos either, right?
yeah, we don't have on this ticket, we don't have. So this is the 4 o'clock games. We don't have 4 o'clock games. We got Green Bay at Chicago. We got Philly at New England. We got Miami at Los Angeles and Chargers. And we got Rams at Seattle on the 4 o'clock games. And then on the 1 o'clock games, we have Houston, Baltimore, Washington, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Carolina, Minnesota, and Jacksonville. Out of that, what are we missing?
All right. So we missed. We didn't put Las Vegas and Denver on there.
Okay.
I think we both said we had Las Vegas, right?
I said Vegas. You were kind of still up in the air.
All right. Let's put Vegas money line on there
Fuck it.
on that ticket.
Fuck it.
That's gonna take it up to about 600 plus 600
We're at plus 979.
plus 979. And then the other one we didn't bet was Tennessee and New Orleans. I still don't know about that game. Plus
Yeah.
979.
Got to get something in there. And that's
Let's throw
either got to go under or the money line.
on
Or the over under or money line for Saints.
for the Saints. I'm gonna
And
say.
we both. I don't know that we think it's gonna go over. I mean, over and under is the same. So
Do you? I think the Saints covered at 3.
let's do it. I mean, but that's plus 100. All right,
Yeah,
we're
that's
at
what we want.
plus. Yeah, we're plus 2058. That's where we're at with a 4 leg
Plus,
parlay plus 2058.
plus 2058.
Yep.
I got 10 on that. That'll give us 200. Yeah, I put 10 on it. Fuck it. Probably should put 5 on it.
About 215 with 10. 215.78. With 5, that's 107.89.
All right, leave the 5. I'm not sold on any of these. We could lose that after the first games if they fuck around and lose that game. So
I'm gonna
I'll do the
put
5 on it.
I'll place that, and I'm gonna mirror your bet, and I'm gonna keep it in the betting slip. And I'm gonna put 5 on it as well, keeping us even, Steven. No pun intended.
All right. So we got 1 hour to kick off, and
We still got about $50 between the two of us.
that's right. That's right.
And so I'm gonna sign out of here while I can.
Yeah, because otherwise we're gonna put that money out there, and we have no clue what's gonna happen this week. I say let's hold on to it till after the first games, after the first set, see where our minds are, and then we'll go from there. I might just throw something on just the Cowboy straight tonight. Give me a reason to cheer even more.
I'm with it. I feel good. I feel good about those bets. I mean, and let's not forget we already have other joints out there. So
That's right. If we could sneak one of those out, it pays off.
yeah, one of any of them joints.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
I think
a win does more for me than anything. Just a win.
right. Yeah. Um. All right, man. Well, I feel good. It gives us an hour to prep for fantasy and stuff. Any last major
Prayers
thoughts
to the
on
people
the?
in Morocco.
Oh yes. We
Prayers
always
to the
talk
people
about
in
everywhere.
Morocco. I had a homeboy that just was out there and he came back Wednesday and he missed it. So thank God. God is good. Prayers to the people in Morocco.
Yeah, one of the strippers I follow on Instagram was just out there in Morocco last week, and so she just missed it too. But nonetheless, prayers to them. I don't know if she's a stripper, but she's on Instagram. I'm just assuming by the scantily clad.
You think she's a stripper just because she's on Instagram?
No, based on the
Oh,
posts,
okay,
the
okay.
types of posts.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna have to
Uh,
reevaluate a lot.
no. A lot of people are on Instagram, bro. But yes, hopefully Morocco they pull through. We got that big ass storm that's out there, that big hurricane that's out east of Florida right now, projected to turn up and y'all get hit. So
It's looking that
um
way.
y'all better prep. I know that Mark was just talking about it's messing up travel. He was supposed to be traveling and they diverted him to Pennsylvania. He's stuck there, so and
Where
they
in
shut
Pennsylvania is he at, yo? That's the other question.
Harrisburg.
Oh, he right down the road. Harrisburg is like 30, 40 minutes from me.
Yeah, he's sitting up in a hotel. So yeah, he fucked up. He said they put me in a room that was being worked on. I had no door.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo, it had no door. It had no door locks or TV. All I wanted to do is watch my Seminoles last night. I'm now back at the airport with no idea when we're
Yo,
leaving. Yo, they gave Mark a 10. Yo, they gave Mark a 10.
I
Yo,
can't. Yo, no
yo.
TV and no locks, dog.
No,
Needed.
he said no door.
Gotta be free, yo.
You, he said no door. He didn't say no locks. He said no door. Yo, Mark had no door, yo. Yo, son. Yo, I've never heard no shit like that. Yo. Oh my god. Oh my
That shit
god.
sucks, yo. That's fucked up. And you can't like, and it's weather related, so he can't do nothing with the airline because
Oh my
that's force
god.
majeure.
Yo, Mark, why did you sleep in a room with no door?
Fuck that, no TV. You got me fucked up. This first world problems. I wish they would give me a fucking room with no TV. I'm
Yo,
burning the hotel to the ground, yo.
yo,
You got me.
they had to take shifts while niggas taking a shower.
I would have slept in a Wawa, yo, for that.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's hilarious. That is
Pennsylvania, I
hilarious, yo.
tell you. But
Yo.
hopefully, well, that was due
Where
to the
is he even
storm.
going though? Where's he even going?
Oh, he's going to Vienna.
Mm,
Actually, he's going to Kazakhstan. He's
why?
got a for work for work. He's got a business meeting out there in Kazakhstan. But he's flying into Vienna and then I guess he has to drive or something.
Mark getting money, yo.
Yeah, right, exactly. You
He
don't got a
getting money
business meet your business
in
meeting ain't in
Kazakhstan.
Miami, it's Kazakhstan.
This
Yeah.
nigga Mark selling arms, yo.
Right. Yeah, right. He the Biden arms dealer.
Mark is the dealer of death, yo.
Yeah.
Yo, your man slept with no door. Yo, oh, that's next level. That's next level.
Yeah. Um
Shout out to Mark.
yeah, shout out to Mark. I gotta catch up on Power. I fell asleep on the second episode last night, but I see where you said it got unrealistic.
Bro, it's got
These
it
niggas
out of
just out
hand.
here killing people, yo.
It's got. I know it's Chicago, but Jesus Christ, man, it's getting out of
Yeah.
hand.
This shit's out.
The sex scenes are top notch though, but it's getting out of
Man,
hand, yo.
it's a little excessive too. They just be smashing. Like Tommy just walks in.
It's just yeah, like I really hope because I keep telling you I like Raising Canaan because it still keeps that real element to it, and it's written very well. I just hope whoever's writing Power does not touch it because
That's what happens when the writers go on strike and they just pick somebody like you and me. Like, yo, could you finish this season?
I think we would be better because you got these people like Courtney Kemp, like
They
even
ain't
with
never been
Courtney
in the
Kemp,
hood.
he ain't
They
never
think
been in
it's
the
realistic
hood,
to walk in and just shoot somebody.
just shooting people all willy nilly, and then it's like you got the two brothers beefing and come like what are we doing? What are we talking about? Like what are we talking about?
Yeah,
It's getting nasty, man. It's getting nasty. It's Courtney Kemp, you doing too much. If you're behind this shit that's going on with Force, you're doing too much, and I don't like you. Stop it. Stop it. 50, get some new writers, man. Get some good writers from the hood that know what they talking about. Shit, get Coogler out there, man. Get Ryan Coogler out there. He
what you
can't
doing
miss.
today?
Man, I'm actually gonna chill, man. The kids are here. They over at grandma's terrorizing her. I was gonna hit some spots, but I think I'm just gonna reserve for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm relaxed. I'm gonna stay in the crib and relax and catch these games. Probably sit outside. It's not scorching just yet. It's only gonna be 90 today. So
Only 90.
yeah, we used to 105. That's what it's been for the last. So turn the fan on, sit outside by the pool, and just relax, man. That's what today looks like. Catch these games, and tonight for the 8 o'clock game, make sure I'm nice and ready to go.
Yeah, yeah.
But enjoy to all the football fans. Today is our day.
Mm.
Even if you don't get to control the rest of the football season, you can at least control week one. Like tell your whiz like week one is mine. You can have weeks 2 through 18, but week one is mine. This is it's a ritual. So um other than that, prayers to Morocco. Hopefully the storm turns up and turns out and the northeast stays clear as well. Until next week we'll get back to it. check on our parlays, you'll either see us happy or deciding not to do this bullshit again. But
We will do it again.
we'll
We
do it
got
again.
we got 20 more. We got 25 more bucks.
If it makes it there, there's still baseball games and Thursday.
Exactly.
Thursday is all right. But like in VP, shout out to him. Hopefully, whatever he's dealing with isn't too much. And we'll get him back next week. But in his way of doing things, I'll say thanks everybody for tuning in to the Casworthy Podcast. Where we can be found is pretty much anywhere you can get your podcasting content. Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. Those are probably the three biggest names and the easiest ones to get to. You have those in your phone now. YouTube, of course, for the video content if you want to see this dashingly handsome face and EJ. But we appreciate you. Obviously, Instagram, Facebook, you can find us at Castworthy Podcast or at Castworthy_podcast. Send us some likes, send us some feedback, positive or negative. We'll take it. And until next week, make those phone calls, talk to your people. Hopefully, everyone is doing well. Stay healthy, drink well, eat well, and we will catch you on next week's pod. We out.